The sirens were late. Eddie Cross had already vanished by the time they reached Lexington Avenue. For him, it was never about speed, it was rhythm. He could open anything, safes, cars, hearts, if you gave him enough silence. That night, silence was all he had. Rain fell soft, coating the city in a thin silver sheen. He crouched before a jewelry shop called Delacroix & Sons. Bronx store, French name, money laundering, not diamonds. He wasn't after cash. He was after a file that could buy his life back. Inside, the lights hummed faintly. Eddie's fingers danced over the lock. He listened, not looked. Then, click, the door opened with a sigh. He slipped inside. The safe behind the counter was new, too clean for the neighborhood. He cracked it in under 2 minutes. Inside, ledgers, drives, and a folder stamped NYPD Internal Affairs. He froze. Photos. His face. Midtown. A woman beside him. Detective Mia Lane. They weren't watching the jeweler. They were watching him. A click behind him. Safety off. "Don't move," said a voice. He turned slowly. Mia stood there, soaked and steady. "Evening, Eddie," she said. "You're getting predictable." "Funny," he said. "I was about to say the same." "Put the folder down." He did, carefully. "You set me up?" "You crossed a line." "No, Mia. You drew it after." The silence between them was heavier than rain. Once, she'd trusted him, a thief who helped the department off the books. Then a deal went wrong, and she took the fall. Now, they stood in its aftermath. "Someone's using your badge," Eddie said. "This place? A front for internal affairs. You expect me to believe that?" "No, but someone expects you not to." A noise outside, the alley. She turned. He moved. Gunfire shattered glass. Eddie grabbed the folder and dove for cover. "Tell them next time to bring better aim," he shouted, escaping into the rain. Hours later, in an old boiler room, he opened the folder. More photos, notes, and one line scrawled at the bottom. "Cross to be used for bait. Subject Lane unaware." "Son of a," he muttered. They'd set both of them up. By dawn, Eddie found her in a diner off Canal Street. "You were set up," he said. "We both were." "You think I don't know that?" she said. "Then why stay?" "Because if I quit, they bury me. I need proof." He slid the folder across. "Proof enough?" She read, face pale. "Marshall," he said. "Your old boss. He's running this." Her hands shook. "He told me you were the leak." "And you believed him?" "I wanted to." "You got a plan?" she asked. "Always." That night, they broke into the old precinct lockup. Eddie still remembered every vent, every camera. They moved through shadows like ghosts. 10 minutes, she whispered. 8, he said. "You always liked pressure." The vault opened easily. Inside, drives, weapons, cash, secrets. A black case marked Marshall, IA. Inside, recordings, photos, and one audio file, Mia's voice ordering his setup. "They faked it," she whispered. "Yeah," he said. "Now we fake back." Boots echoed above. They moved fast, looping security feeds to hide their escape. "You've still got it," she said. "Like riding a bike," he said. "Except the cops are the road." They reached the alley and froze. "Going somewhere, Cross?" Detective Marshall stepped out, gun drawn. "Cute, the two of you," he said. "You were both tools. He opens doors, you clean the mess." "You set us up," Mia said. "I gave you purpose," Marshall sneered. Eddie sighed. "You talk too much." "Excuse me." "Check your phone." Marshall glanced down. His own office appeared on screen. Audio of his plan streaming live to the Internal Affairs server. "You shouldn't use your wife's birthday as a password," Eddie said. Marshall's smile cracked. "You're still a thief." "Yeah," Eddie said. "But tonight I'm the honest one." Marshall raised the gun. Mia shot first, clean through his shoulder. He collapsed, howling. Eddie kicked the weapon away. "You'll live," he said. "Long enough to watch it burn." They left him there as sirens wailed closer. In the car, Mia asked, "Where to?" Eddie looked out at the wet neon streets. "Anywhere they don't look down." By morning, the scandal broke. Marshall went down, the department burned its own house clean. and Eddie Cross vanished again, like smoke into rain. Mia didn't chase him this time. Somewhere under the hum of the city, the locks turned one last time. The asphalt was silent, slick with secrets, reflecting nothing but a ghost's faint glow. A week after Marshall's arrest, New York went quiet, but not clean. Cops called it containment. Eddie Cross called it unfinished business. He should have left, disappeared like before. But ghosts don't run from the city that made them. They haunt it. Mia Lane had gone dark since the takedown. Suspended, interrogated, silenced. Eddie knew she wouldn't stay that way. He'd seen that fire before. So when a burner phone buzzed at midnight with a message that simply read, "Meet me where the lights hum," he knew it was her. He found her in an abandoned subway platform beneath East 14th. The old station smelled of rust and secrets. "You look terrible," he said. "You look predictable," she replied. "Good to see you, too." She handed him a small envelope. Someone cleaned up Marshall's mess too fast. Files are gone. Every name tied to the Black Ops unit wiped. You think someone higher up? I know it. Inside the envelope was a photo, a man in a tailored suit stepping out of a black SUV. "Deputy Commissioner Vance," she said. "Marshall worked for him." Eddie whistled low. "You don't aim small." "Neither do you." He studied the photo. "You sure you want back in? You could still walk away." "And do what? Pretend I didn't help build this mess?" "Fair. Besides," she said, "I'm tired of being bait." Eddie smiled faintly. "Then let's turn the hook." They followed Vance's trail through the veins of the city. Offshore accounts, shell companies, nightclubs that never closed. One name kept reappearing. The Glass House, an upscale rooftop bar near Hudson Yards. Rumor said it wasn't just a bar. It was where the real deals were made. Cops, politicians, contractors. Eddie knew the type. He'd robbed their homes before. That night, he dressed the part. Tailored suit, forged invite, clean shave. Mia played the part of an off-duty agent. Together they slipped past security like smoke. The city glittered below them, endless and cold. "You blend in too well," she whispered. "Years of practice." "You nervous?" "Only when I'm right." They spotted Vance near the bar, surrounded by men who looked like they hadn't smiled since the 90s. Mia leaned in. "We need proof. Something solid." Eddie's gaze drifted to a briefcase at Vance's feet. "Solid enough?" "You're insane. That's why it works." He moved casually, timing his steps with the music. A distracted waiter, a spilled drink, a moment's chaos. When the briefcase was gone, no one noticed until Eddie was already on the elevator down. Inside the case were classified transfer orders, contracts signed by Vance authorizing off-the-books surveillance ops. It was proof. But before he could tell Mia, the elevator stopped. Two men in suits entered, silent, heavy. One looked at Eddie. "Mr. Cross, the commissioner would like a word." He smiled faintly. "Tell him I'm busy." The man lifted his jacket just enough to show the gun. "He insists." Eddie raised his hand slightly. "All right, let's be civil." They led him through service corridors to the parking garage. Vance waited there, calm, precise. "You're a difficult man to kill, Mr. Cross." "You've been trying?" "Not yet," Vance said. "Marshall was sloppy. I'm not." "Yeah, I noticed. You cover your tracks with suits and silence. You and Detective Lane made quite the mess, but every scandal needs closure. Tonight, that's you." "Funny," Eddie said. "She said the same thing about you." A faint smile flickered on Vance's lips. "She?" He turned, just as Mia's voice echoed from the shadows. "Drop it." She stepped out, gun raised, badge gleaming under the dim light. "You're under arrest for conspiracy, obstruction, and about a dozen other things I can't pronounce." "You don't have proof," Vance said. "You erased it." "You sure?" Eddie lifted the briefcase. "I made copies. 3, actually. One goes to the feds, one to the press, and one—" He looked at Mia. "For insurance." Vance's calm cracked. "You think this ends with me? You have no idea how deep it goes." "Then we'll dig," she said, "one grave at a time." Vance lunged for his gun. Mia fired first. The shot echoed through the garage, glass shattering, alarms screaming. Eddie grabbed her arm. "We have to move." They ran through the side exit, sirens closing in. Outside, rain poured hard, washing the blood into the gutter. They ducked into an alley, breathless. "He'll live," Mia said, voice shaking. "Good," Eddie said. "He should. You still got the files?" "Every bite." "Then what now?" He looked up at the skyline, wet glass and endless noise. "We disappear again, until the next lock needs opening." She smiled faintly. "You're addicted to chaos." "No," he said. "Just justice with bad timing." They vanished into the downpour, two ghosts fading between puddles and neon. By dawn, the glass house was swarming with agents. News broke of Vance's crimes, the city erupting again in scandal. No one mentioned Eddie Cross. No one mentioned Mia Lane. But somewhere out there, in the quiet between sirens, a man who could open anything lit a cigarette and smiled. Silent asphalt stretched before him, endless, waiting for the next sound.